So this is my exact 10K system. So let me walk you through my entire end-to-end cold email outreach system that I use. I just started using to, reach out to leads, and my target is to hit 10K. And I don't know if this is possible, but you're going to stick around to find out. So let's go right in. The first thing that I do is I use Apollo. So I use Apollo to find leads. For example, you can come here and search for whatever leads you're looking for. Search by company, by education, by industry, whatever works for you. You can just, make the search here by the keywords that works for you. And once you are okay with everything here, what you're going to do is copy this URL here and go to the tool called Ample Leads. I find that exporting leads from Ample Leads is much more cheaper than using Apollo itself. So what I like to do is copy it and put into um, Ample Leads. So what you can come here to do is put the number of leads that you want here. So you get charged per lead. So, and you can come here and buy new credits. So this is how much you get. If you pay $29, you get 11,500 Apollo leads. If you pay, you can see it here. So whatever you want, you can go ahead and pay here to get your credit. So that's 2.5 dollars per $2.50 per 1K lead. So, and if you run out of your credits, you can go ahead and add more here. So once you have added your credit, you can come back to Apollo script right here. So you can come back to Apollo Scraper here and impute the URL that you just copied and write the number of leads depending on the credits that you have that you want to export. And you just go ahead and click start scraping here. You can give it a name here, or you can call it whatever, real estate agent. Then you can click start scraping here. I don't have enough credits, that's why it's not going to work for me. But once you have enough credits, you will be able to start scraping. So this is the one I have just completed scraping. So it will take you at least 24 hours, max 48 hours. Mine was done in 24 hours. So if you want to scrape, you should be looking at 24 hours to 48 hours, and you should, the scraping should have been completed. So once your scraping is complete, just come here and click on export. You can export it as a Google Sheet, or you can export it as a CSV, whatever works for you. But once you export it, then you can have all of your leads. So what I did do was, so this is what my lead looks like when I get them out of here. I'm trying to find the best way to get it. So here is what my leads look like when I get them. So I have all of these things: the company name, the mobile, a phone number, the title, a lot of bunch of all these things, right? So what I did want to do was get a personalized line for each of them, depending on who they are, what their LinkedIn profile is like, what the business they're handling is like, all of that. But you know that if I want to manually go in and go through the LinkedIn of these people, their businesses and everything about them, so I can craft a business, can craft the best opening line, or what we call icebreaker line for them, then it will take me like the entire year to complete. So I had to build a system that helps me do that. And this is that, and here is the system right there. So what it does is go in, get a row of that that particular lead, and then goes into something called Apify. So what I needed Apify for was to get me scrape their LinkedIn. So these people are professional people, so I wanted to work more with their LinkedIn, find maybe their certification or something that is unique to them, and maybe a post that they made, their recommendation, their endorsement, whatever they have that is unique to them. So I wanted Apify to scrape all of those details for me, and use OpenAI to find the most unique thing, the most beautiful thing about them, and use that as an opening line. So that way I would have unique opening lines that are personalized for each of the leads. So with a system like this, I was able to cut down on my icebreaker, or my opening, or my personalization. Basically, I was able to cut down on my outreach personalization. So that way I was able to get a bunch of personalized lines for each of them without actually doing too much. So this system really helped me do that. And here's what they were looking like at the end of the day. You have all these icebreakers here, and I was able to summarize them here. So I was able to summarize all of these. So now I have, personalized opening lines for each of them. So I now went in with this data. Now I went into my outreach tool. In this case, I used instantly, but I feel like I'm going to switch it out in future. But I'm just testing out instantly to see what it's like. So yeah, it's loading up for me. So yeah, this is my campaign. Like I said, I just set it up. So the only emails I've sent right now is 252. So I really can't, I really can't do any analytics right now or anything because I've not really done much. I need to get to at least 10K, 2K before I can, begin to analyze and see how the campaign is performing. So right now, what I did was come in here and create a new campaign. You can create a new campaign from adding new here, and it will take you into the new campaign. So what I did was add my leads here. You just click on add leads and it will allow you to, let me just click that, sorry. It will allow you to upload those leads that you have, and once you upload them, you can just map them to the right. I don't have enough here, so I don't think it will allow me to do much, but let's see if I can do much. Let's just see what I can do. So I can show you how I did the mapping. Doesn't give me what I'm looking for here. It doesn't give me what I'm looking for because I don't have this copy again. But what if you have something like this, you are going to be able to map it to the different fields. And I was able to map the last field to be called personalization. So when I have that, I just went ahead to set up my sequences here. As you can see, these are all the emails here that I have set up. And I set up my schedule and my options and everything that I need to. Then I go ahead and set it to start running. I set it here. If it was not running, you're going to see start launch here instead of this pause. But mine is already running. That's why you're seeing pause. So that way I have been able to set up my outreach email. So hopefully this takes me to 10K. I'm going to come back and do an update video in 30 days to see how this is working and how this is. So if you're also trying to get new leads for your business and you are considering cold email outreach, you can use this my own setup. It cost me about below $50 to have this, right? No more, because instantly it's $49. Ample leads is I think $29, and those are the only two things that you pay for. The icebreaker setup is free. You're building it on make.com, so you really don't need to pay for that. And okay, the other thing that you might have to pay for is going to be your API tokens for your OpenAI. So if you do plus or minus, you can spend like the highest you could spend is $100. And yeah, if you ask me $100 and to hopefully make 10K, yeah, it's a good deal. And yeah, so if you are looking to start code outreach, you can start with this setup. It's very simple and it really does not cost you so much. It's just $100 or even lower than that. I'm working with 11,500 leads, but if you're working with low, it's lower than that. It might not be as much. Yeah, so yeah, that's a wrap for me. If you have any questions concerning this, this email outreach system, this email setup, you can let me know. Drop them in the comments if you have any observation on how we can do this better. Of course, you can also let us know in the comments. And if you are also interested in seeing how this would unfold, feel free to subscribe and stick around because I'll be doing an update video to tell you how my leads are coming up and the things I made and the mistakes I made or the things I noticed and the things I'm switching out and how I'm optimizing these campaigns so I can get better results out of it. So yeah, that's a wrap for me today, and I will see you tomorrow.